My name is Kevin Chrisman. I'm a senior. My major is psychology with a minor in sociology, and I'm from Brownsville, Texas.
Awesome. So, what made you decide to go to college?
Um, I really didn't decide. It was more expected of me. Like, my parents were like, you're going to go to college, you're going to go to college. There's no question about that, so pretty early on I knew I was supposed to be going to college. Like, it was expected of me because no one else went and I was the last one. So,
Automatic.
it was automatic.
So, what was the application process like?
Well, since I was valedictorian, I I just applied for all the schools in Texas, got into all of them, and I'm like, so many decisions. So it was between this one and TU, but Austin's expensive, and I couldn't afford it. And A&M was like, I'm gonna give you all these scholarships. You can come here. And TU was like, hey, here are some loans. We don't care about you. I'm like, okay, A&M, I guess.
Good choice.
Yeah, very.
So, during this process, did you get any help?
Um, I think the only help that I got was from my high school's college advisor, because like I said, I was first gen, so my parents didn't know anything, my siblings didn't know anything. The high school I went to was really low income, so it was only like the top 5% that were expected to go to college. So we really didn't have that many resources when it came to like figuring out what we wanted to do.
So, tell me about the day you got your acceptance letter.
That was like 4 years ago. I don't remember.
No.
But it was like, oh shit, like I knew I was gonna get in, but I was like, oh cool, I got in. So it wasn't really like a surprise. I was like, I knew I was gonna get in because the Texas has that top 8% rule
Right.
where you automatically get accepted to any public university. So
Well, congratulations. Good
thank
for
you.
4 years later.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about your first day on campus.
um, well, I was originally in the Corps of Cadets, but then it wasn't for me. So basically, my first day was my parents dropping me off with one suitcase, and then driving 8 hours back down, and it was raining, and I was all by myself. So, college hit me hard, like on my first day.
How was your experience in the Corps?
It wasn't for me. Um, I liked going through it, but it wasn't for me at the end. Trying to balance academics and the Corps was too much.
And how was your first day not being in the Corps?
I was sick because I had a real bad cold, so it sucked. But yeah.
So, what is it like to be a first generation student?
Um, a lot of confusion and being lost. Like I really didn't have anyone. I didn't know anywhere to go if I needed help because no one told me what college is like. So most of it was just figuring it out on my own.
So, what's your major and why did you choose it?
Psychology. I really originally wanted to be a counselor, but now I'm thinking about going more into the sociology field. So hopefully I'm gonna get a master's and a doctorate's in sociology, and then probably do something with that.
So, what type of sociology would you like to focus
Probably
on?
race and ethnicity. Like I was always interested in that when taking my minor. I took a lot of race classes, and it was like I was like, oh wow, there's a lot of like I knew the inequalities, but I'm like, oh, it's a lot, like more than we think.
Definitely. So, tell me about your happiest memory as an Aggie and your toughest moment.
Well, college for me was all tough moments. I really don't have in recent memory any happy moments. I guess just spending time with my friends, but it was mostly like hard challenges a lot because I was away from home, really had no one to go to. If I was going through trouble, I had to do it on my own. So it was a lot of just being independent and stuff because only family was 7 hours away. Um, I didn't have that many friends because it was from Brownsville to College Station. So I probably have 5 friends now. So yeah, it was mostly challenges, really, if anything.
What about your Aggie ring day?
Oh,
How was that?
I didn't sleep that night, so I pulled an all nighter, and I was just exhausted, so it was like not fun.
You just showed up and you're like, okay.
Yeah, I was just like, let's just get this done with.
So, what is your goal after graduation? You talked a little bit about it. If you want to expand.
Um, yeah, I hope. Being in college, I had to take a scuba diving class. I'm like, I love this. I'm gonna be a diver. So that means I'm gonna have to. I want to join the Navy and be a Navy diver, but that takes a lot of physical activity, and I've been working out for like a year now. So I went from 115 because I had an eating disorder in high school to 165. Yeah. So Navy, then using the GI Bill because I'm currently on my dad's GI Bill to go here. Only reason I can afford to go here, and then once I get out of Navy, I'll use that GI Bill to get a master's and a doctorate.
Wow, that's amazing.
Hmm.
Okay. So, what does it mean to you to be an Aggie?
I guess it means like doing the right thing. I guess like even when things are tough, and like it's easy to just choose the thing that you're not supposed to choose. Sometimes you always gotta choose the right thing because if you're, the world sucks. That's a given, and you have to look out for others because sometimes some people don't have anyone that they look out for them. So just treat people how you want to be treated and be nice to others, I guess.
So, what advice do you, or would you give a student that would be first gen and interested in coming to Texas A&M?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. Like it's okay to be lost. Took me like probably my first year to realize, hey, there's resources on campus. It's fine to go ask for help because high school I was always a perfectionist. I always tried to get things done on my own. And I never really asked for help, so coming here I'm like, I'm not gonna ask for help, even though I needed it. So yeah, probably that and utilizes the resources that are available on campus because they're there for a reason to help first generation students or students just struggling in college.
What resources do you think have been the most helpful to you?
Academic Success Center. I had a mentor there. She's not there anymore. She moved back to El Paso that I would go to for like 2.5 years. And at first it was like helping me with my academics, and then after a while it was just more like a mentor to like talk to and give life advice or get life advice from.
So she was more like a guiding tool.
Yeah.
For you?
And then I got another one through the Career Center. I helped him with his PhD. I was in his, what was it? I was in his survey, or no, his sample, and he's my mentor now for probably like 2 years as well. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
So, is there anything that I haven't covered that you would like to include?
Maybe, maybe how difficult it is to have like being a first generation with parents that only have a high school education. I like
Expand on that, definitely.
so like I'm here, my parents are back at home, and I grew up. It's the city I grew up in is the poorest city in the country. I think it still is. Yeah, it was about yeah. So it's kind of like money wise, it was always hard for me because I'm financially on my own. Besides my dad's GI Bill, I'm working 2 jobs to afford my basic needs. I can't go to my parents to ask for money. They come to me to ask for money because of medical bills, insurance, stuff like that. So like seeing all these other kids that have parents that are like, oh, I'll help you financially, and me being on my own over here as a first gen, it's like I can't. I don't know what that's like. Like yeah, my parents help out when they come out, like buy groceries and stuff, but that's about it. Compared to most of these other kids who have parents that have college education or something. So like that also is one of the difficulties being a first gen, is being not only being broke yourself but your parents being broke.
So, what, how do you think that has made you the person that you are today?
I guess it helped me budget stuff. Like I'm like, oh, I don't need this, or I don't eat out at all anymore. Well, also because like I'm on a diet, and my meals consist of 3 protein shakes and like a small meal at dinner. Sucks ass. Um, but yeah, like you have to. I make certain decisions where I'm like, okay, I don't need to eat out. I don't need to get this. That I don't need. Like, the clothes that I had before I went up a size, I had them for 3 years. These clothes my parents helped me buy, and it was like $200, like for an entire wardrobe. So like I am very, I guess, humble when it comes to owning things, as well as like trying to save as much money as I can, because I mean I need to have at least something in my bank account, and I can't go to my parents to ask for more if in case I run out.
So how were you able to find like jobs on your campus?
It was my first one. I worked for Henderson Hall. I was part of launch. Century. I'm a Century Scholar. So I asked my mentor if there was any job openings, and she said yeah. So I applied there. I worked there for. Currently still working there. I'm leaving at the end of November. So it was that through connections, and then my other one, I just applied, and they're like, "We're hiring. Come on." I'm like, "Okay, what's the pay?" They gave me the pay. I'm like, "I'll take it."
Which job was the other one?
Freebirds, the one on Northgate.
Okay.
Mhm.
So how does it feel to be so close to graduation?
I really don't know. It's just like, oh shit, it's happening. I mean, I already have a couple plans, like several plans out after graduation, but for me, it's just like, let's get this over with.
Let's move forward.
Exactly.
Well, once again, do you want to add anything else that wasn't mentioned?
I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.